warm welcome to Jack Binstead. Hello, Jack.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
So, just as a quick introduction, Jack is one of our ambassadors at Genes for Genes. Probably best known as a TV actor for your role as Rem Dog in Bad Education.
Yeah.
Brilliant series. A Paralympian, and probably more recently, a professional pool player.
Yeah.
That's quite a change.
Real change, yeah.
Yeah. And also you're daddy to a daughter. Is that right?
Yeah.
Probably your most important job, I'd imagine.
Proudest achievement, yeah.
Good. So thank you for joining us. This is really just an opportunity to get to know our Genes for Genes ambassadors. So we'll be asking a few questions around kind of getting to know you to start with, and then we'll move on to some more specific questions around Genes for Genes and your involvement with us. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll kick off. Our first question for you is, how would your friends and family describe you?
I probably can't say those words on
It's a family
really.
friendly show.
Yeah, no. The Joker. I like to be funny. I feel like, I've always used humor in my life. When I was probably used it as more of a cover, a blanket, sort of thing. And then as an adult, I just sort of enjoy using humor in any way that I can. There's the cat that's made an appearance.
So we were waiting for the cats, weren't we?
Yeah, probably the Joker. I like to be the guy who makes everyone laugh and brings the mood up.
Who makes you laugh?
I have a few friends who I aspire to be as funny as they are. Like they can fun, and their level of intelligence around humor is just incredible. But in terms of like my favorite comedian, for example, right now is probably Jim Jeffries, Australian comedian. I find incredibly funny, very similar styles of humor, very past the mark. But I work with some incredible actors and actresses who are dead funny. Just Charlie Wernham from Bad Education, probably one of the I know, just born funny, always has me in tears.
Oh, brilliant. It's great to be surrounded by people like that.
Yeah.
So, and this kind of leads on to the next question as to, who do you most admire in life?
I most admire. Probably, do you know what? It sounds cliche, probably my daughter. I admire her the most. She has the same disability that I do. And I know my own life experiences and what I went through as a kid with a disability. She has the same disability as I do, and she's gone through similar experiences with breaking bones at a young age and surgery. And I remember how I dealt with that back when I was a kid and how that affected me as a result of my own way of dealing with things. She's such a trooper. She's such a soldier. Like, she had a really, really bad break when she was about 2. And, I know that I had similar breaks around the time, and that left me in a wheelchair. And I just sort of settled for that. And that was me. And they set me back quite a lot. Within 6 weeks of her breaking her leg really badly, she was running around the house. She just bounced back. And I watch her do her everyday life. And I'm waiting for something bad to happen. It just never happens. And I'm so happy for that, of course. But she's such a soldier. I wish I could go back and be as strong as she is.
Well, she's probably taken a lot of inspiration from you as well, I imagine.
Well, there is an element to it. I know what she's going through. I know what she's going to go through. I've already lived that once myself. And, in turn, my family as well also have seen me go through it. And, they know how to deal with it from a sort of slightly outsider's point of view. But yeah, there is that sort of natural bond that I know that we'll have, as she grows up to adulthood and beyond, where we have the same disability, and for that reason, there will always be that sort of daddy-daughter bond that we have.
That's there. Lovely. What's the name of the condition that you share?
So we have a disability medically known as osteogenesis imperfecta, otherwise brittle bones, more formally known as brittle bones nowadays.
Yeah.
But we're born without a type of collagen in our bones, type of calcium, which leaves our bones more fragile and susceptible to fractures.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, thank you for sharing that.
Right.
No, it sounds like you've got an incredible bond with her. That's really nice to hear. What would you say is your favorite movie or your favorite book of all time? You can choose one of two.
I I,
Movie or
inst-
book?
I know the answer straight away for my favorite film, and it's I don't think I've ever met, and I probably won't ever meet anyone who agrees. Okay,
Okay.
because from a film critic's point of view, terrible film, right? It is terrible. It's filmed terrible. The acting is terrible, but I love it and still watch it to this day, which is the early 2000s Daredevil with Ben Affleck as
Okay.
Daredevil. Really, really weird. But I was a kid. I was like 5 or 6 when it came out, and I watched it. And for me, this was my first experience where I witnessed a disabled superhero.
Right.
Blind. He's a blind man who has these abilities as Daredevil, and he fights crime and he fights for justice. And I remember watching that film like, oh my god, I can do anything because he's blind and he can do what he does. I can do anything, and and I think that sort of was a little bit of inspiration for me to just be this kid who went and done everything, because that's ultimately who I was. When I was at school, I was lucky enough to go to a mainstream school. I was the only pupil in a wheelchair in the school, and there wasn't anything that I didn't do. I just sort of took inspiration from this film to, despite disability, you can go out and do whatever. And looking back on the film, the movie is terrible, but it's such a film. I love the film. I always will. I still watch it to this day, even though it's now like 20 years old, and there's new Daredevils that have come along over the
How old were you
years.
when you first watched it?
Probably uh probably like 6.
Wow. So really impressionable age then.
Yeah,
Quite
for
early
sure.
on in primary school.
Yeah, because I mean, I've said this in interviews and magazine articles before, and people sort of say, "Who was your inspiration when you was a kid?" And the thing is, I didn't have one, because when you're when you're when you're a disabled kid in a world full of able-bodied people, I didn't have anyone who was disabled around me. You end up listening to what able-bodied people say about who they want to be when they grow up and who they inspire. There is absolutely no point in me aspiring to be LeBron James, or my role model would never be David Beckham, because I can't play the sports they play to in the way that they play it. So there wasn't really anybody that I could aspire to when I was a kid who's a wheelchair user that I could look up to. There was Stephen Hawkins. I didn't like science at the age of 6, quite frankly. You know, who else was there really, to look up to as this sort of disabled figurehead? To go, Tanny Gray Thompson doesn't really cut it when you're 5 years old, right? Amazing woman, incredible achievements as a Paralympian, but I didn't know who she was when I was 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
It really wasn't that person. There wasn't that Hollywood star who's a wheelchair user. There wasn't that top level athlete like Usain Bolt who's put out on adverts and endorsed and so on and so forth in the same way. So you have to sort of look further. And for me, it ended up becoming a disabled superhero, because what else was there to really to really aspire to? Who?
And that's really interesting, considering where you've taken yourself with your career, and with the acting and the Paralympics and now the
Yeah.
kind of the pool playing, and that's really nice then, that you're almost acting as an inspiration then to others and someone that can relate to.
I feel like that sort of became a little bit of the next thought process along, which was, if there isn't anybody for me to aspire to, then there won't be anybody for the people who are younger than me to aspire to, and so I'll become theirs. And that sort of happened. It wasn't necessarily my entire reason for going into sports and going into acting was wanting to be this figurehead for other people. It sort of happened naturally. I had people coming up to me in the streets who had disabled kids with them, or people tweeting me or sending messages on Instagram, just sort of saying, "Oh, look, you're my role model. I aspire to be like you." And it's an amazing feeling. It really is, because you don't know this person from Adam, but what you've done inadvertently is their hopes and giving them someone to sort of aspire to be like.
Yeah, that's amazing. No pressure though.
No, not at all. No, not at all. No.
The next question is, if there's one cause that you'd fight for, or one thing you could change in the world, what would it be?
Do you know it would probably be combating homelessness,
Mm.
because I've had a few friends over the years who have gone through tough times who have ended up homeless, and I know that they're really really lovely people, and no one deserves homelessness, but I know these people firsthand, and I know for a fact they don't deserve anything that they went. And I've seen, you see a lot of clips nowadays of people who, can I have a pound, please? And they go, oh, and they're homeless. And they go, oh, look in their cup, and they put out a pound, and they go, yeah, okay, you can have a pound. And then they gift them with like £500 for doing such a nice thing. And you hear about their stories and who they were and how they ended up in that scenario, and you really feel for them. I just feel like well, that would be my one big thing, is if I could combat homelessness and get people off the streets, that would be my I'd love to do that.
No, it's a good one. I've spent 10 years working in homelessness,
right,
with charities trying to combat homelessness. It's a tough nut to crack, that one.
Yeah.
But definitely the world would be a better place if that's something we could eradicate. I agree. But moving on to more kind of Jeans for Genes specific question.
Yeah.
The theme of our campaign this year was called How Do You Wear Yours? And it was encouraging people to wear different things with their jeans. And we had superheroes and bunny ears and all of these things, kind of all kids and businesses and people across the country doing all sorts of things with their jeans, which was really lovely to see. But what would be your perfect partner with your jeans? What would you wear to kind of dress them up to make a statement?
I would definitely have some rips. I need to have some rips in my jeans, show off my leg tattoos, which would perfectly show my Jeans for Jeans tattoo that I'd have on my leg.
I'm very impressed with the tattoos you're showing on your arms there. They're very cool.
I've got a few. Yeah, no, we're pretty covered.
One or two.
Need to get more, but I probably wouldn't do too much with the jeans themselves, but I'd partner it with other denim items. I'd probably have like a jeans hat, like a jeans bucket hat.
Yeah.
When you take your jeans and you cut them up and you make other items. I can't do that, but I know people that can.
Upcycling your jeans, that's very ethical. Yeah. So you're really down with a double denim?
I don't think I could probably. I wouldn't look good in it, but I would do it. Sure. If I had to do something cool with the jeans though, and still look fashionable at the same time, I would probably, I'd probably go 90s, right, and just add some flames going up from the bottom of the jean.
I'm down with that.
90s shirts with the flames on it, every cool. I'd probably do that to the jeans. Yeah.
You know what now? So for next year's campaign, I'm going to be looking out for pictures of you with the flame embossed jeans and t-shirt. I think that's definitely a look.
I need to make it happen.
So how, when and why did you get involved with Jeans for Jeans?
I got involved with Jeans for Jeans a good few years ago now. I was definitely in my early 20s. I'd known of Jeans for Jeans actually prior to being contacted. I was asked to come down to do a photo shoot for Jeans and become one of their ambassadors. I have a ability as well, so it sort of went hand in hand, and it was an amazing opportunity to have that photo shoot. Myself, Warwick Davis, Katie Price, we was all there. And yeah, that's sort of how I came aboard, was being contacted by the charity and coming down for a photo shoot and having my pictures put out there with the Jeans for Jeans shirt on for that.
I'm going to have to dig those out now. I think we definitely have to put this alongside this when it goes out.
It was up here at that point. I've changed my looks over the years. No, yeah, that was how it started, and then sort of year on year, I've been involved, with sort of the campaign and putting out social media posts around when G is and the new T-shirt for the year. But yeah, I've stayed in contact with everybody, over the years. Probably, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And so given where we are now, where would you like to see us And what would you like to see us doing in 5 years' time?
I'd like it to be more of a, right now I know that it's a well-recognized charity from a national standpoint, but getting it more international, having Jeans for Jeans say absolutely everywhere, jeans all over the world. Let's get Jeans for Jeans all over the world, and take the campaigning and take the awareness to another level.
We'll take it global. Well, you'll have next time you're doing your professional pool playing. Once you get on a global stage, we'll make sure you're wearing one of our t-shirts, and we'll we'll take it from there.
I need to actually. That was another conversation, but it was to bring you guys on with the pool, because I've got international competitions next year, so I need some sponsorships, some company logos put on my stuff to advertise you guys. So we'll make that happen.
Excellent. Oh, I might hold you to that then.
Do it.
Well, that's the end of our questions.
Okay.
A huge thank you to you for being alongside us, being part of Jeans for Jeans and the campaign for so long. Is there anything else that you'd want to add at the end of our little session together?
Just thank you for the support over the years, and I hope we get to continue working with each other as we go global. And Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you as well. I've got the little lights in the background there, but
yeah, free somewhere like there is.
Yeah, we've definitely got a festive theme going on. But oh, Jack, thank you so much.
No
and that ends our session together. So I will press stop on the record.